Here's the lovely thing about running track in the summertime. A lot of college football coaches don't think nobody paying attention. So while Johnny is trying to get his 40 time down running AAU track, his uncle Bubba is sitting in the stands talking to the money man from whatever school, Florida. Because we already know y'all offered. We already know y'all offered Fred a boatload of money. We already know that. So we know what it is. Like, quit acting like this is some brand new stuff. Y'all mad because now these kids getting paid. And the money that the boosters used to give your homeboy so he can put a fountain in front of the locker room for $200,000 for a $15,000 sprinkler system, you want to be mad.
I.e. Burt Reynolds.
He's just going to take a shot at Florida State. Burt Reynolds built a whole building. But yeah.
And only football players were staying in it.
Stop, Mo.
That ain't no NCAA violation.
Hey, it wasn't an NCAA violation until Miami and Oklahoma started running drugs out of athletic dorms and raping women. Then the NCAA said no more athletic dorms. And that's when it became an apartment complex.
Easy Foot Locker. We're not going to talk about it.
That's what we're doing now? You a Gator fan now? That's what we're doing? Why did Steve Spurrier bring up? No, if we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it. Steve Spurrier wanted to bring up free shoes Florida State because he was on the NCAA investigation for paying players.
Well,
don't just throw them grenades out there like he went.
I ain't no grenade. I ain't throwing no grenade if I ain't got the pen. I was working that champ when Charlie Ward came in and asked me what's his discount. I said your discount is whatever you got in your pocket. Yeah. So let's not do that.
Okay, so if you went to Florida State or FAMU from the years of 1991 to 1999, if you had somebody that worked in Tallahassee Mall or Governor Square Mall, we all got hookups.
Charlie Wood ain't getting no hook. Charlie Wood ain't getting no hookup from me.
But we got hookups. Statute of limitations are ran out. I got my hookups. But that is very different than what Steve Spurrier and the entire SEC was doing. Like, let's stop doing this. Let's stop acting like at one point 4 schools from the SEC was on probation and all of the Southwest Conference was on probation. Like, we forget about that? Like, we forget about it. The entire Southwest Conference. And for people who don't know what the Southwest Conference was, Texas had its own conference. And they added Arkansas because they needed another team outside of the state. And all of them was on probation. But that oil money is something serious. That oil money is something serious. And you know who got more oil money right now than anybody? Them Texas A&M alums. That's who got all the money. I can't, listen, TP, I can't wait to Stanford get the #1 recruiting class because that startup money started trickling into the school.
You know why Stanford would never have a #1 recruiting class?
Why is that?
Their academic standards are too high.
We can pay you, but can you get into school? Oh, God.
Whew. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Gathering of Old Men podcast. Myself, TP is on the way. Marlo is on the way. We have a special guest tonight that is on the way as well. But again, welcome to the Gathering of Old Men podcast. Fresh off the presses, Method Man apparently ran up on his daughter's ex-boyfriend 10 years after the fact and punched him in the face a few times. Now, we don't know why, but he's being celebrated for running up on his daughter's ex-boyfriend and punching him in the face. I just want to know why. It can't just be he broke our heart. That it can't just be just that. So I would love to hear the explanation for that. But in the meantime, we know that somebody at Crunch Gym is close with Method Man and gave that man a phone call and said, "You know he here." And apparently Method Man was on the way. And he arrived with bad intentions. Apparently he punched that kid 6 times in the face. The kid apparently said that he was dizzy and woozy. And there we have it. So Method Man, Dad of the Year, apparently right now. Also in the news, Howard last night lost to Division II Bowie State in a nail biter all the way to the end. Howard is probably at one point the second best team in the MEAC for men's basketball. I'm not sure about that right now. They also were moving their way up on the HBCU basketball poll, but that loss kind of hurts them. We will see how that goes. I am going to check on my co-host. Give me 1 second and I'll be right back. Because you know what? It's
the disrespect segment.
Uh-oh. Here we go. Mike Evans. It's time to talk about it.
Yeah, money.
Guaranteed contract. Got paid. Supposedly the Bucks' best wide receiver.
Yeah, money.
He ain't running away from me.
Yeah, money.
He will get some contested catches.
His name is Mike Evans.
Mike Evans has been known to get locked up from time to time against corners with speed and size.
By who?
Yeah, money.
And this was one of those games where he got locked up. And those new additions. And hold on. I want to know what dude on this podcast said put Julio Jones in bubble wrap until December. I wait. It's silent in Orlando this week. We had a whole 9-minute diatribe. It is silent in Orlando.
What you mean silent? Ain't no silent. First of all, we still got another bet. We have a better record than your team. Your team won 8 games. And you over here beating your chest, happy because another team had offensive struggle against the number 1 offense in the league. And you really gonna sit up here and make it seem like you Nostradamus by being able to say, oh, your team, somebody's gonna get hurt. Every team, somebody got hurt.
No. I know we're not talking about the Buccaneers gonna win the Super Bowl 8 years in a row, and you got lucky when Tom Brady showed. Those are some good times, and to make matters worse, Tyreek Hill has alluded to the fact that, it's only a 3-hour drive to Tampa. Dear God, I have seen what you have done for other people. If you allow Tyreek Hill to be on the Buccaneers, oh dear Father God, it will never be over. It'll be a circus every week. Because Tampa Bay Stadium is not far from 2 colleges. And that just puts Tyreek Hill in striking distance of more baby mamas. So, please, go ahead. Let this man come to Tampa Bay. You know what? I would probably buy 2 tickets just to see this soap opera every week. Because it's just, you can't make this up. It's just good TV.
Good TV. Thank you, Tyree Hill. Like, you brightened up my whole day today. Absolutely brightened up my whole day. Marlo is not here right now because I'm pretty sure he does not want to talk about that. Because he know that was going to be the first thing on my mind. I wasn't going to let it go. Because that's, like, I don't know what's wrong with Tyree Hill. I don't know what's wrong. I don't.
Hey, Tyreek said he want to compete. Tyreek said, I want a Super Bowl. Miami not going to get me a Super Bowl.
He's gonna get
I don't want just baby mamas. I want a Super Bowl.
It is. Listen.
A Super Bowl going to pay for all the insurance. I need a Super Bowl.
This man was telling everybody how better Tua was than Patrick Mahomes. He made it it was his thing. Yes, Patrick Mahomes is good, but Tua is a better quarterback. Now you want to come play with Baker Mayfield?
I mean, but so minus the concussions, do you think Tua could have suppressed Pat Mahomes?
No.
Not even a little bit? Not even, he couldn't have even touched the hem of his garment?
Touching the hem is about it.
So, but my second portion of it is I argue with everybody is Pat Mahomes benefited from having Andy Reid as his head coach. If Andy Reid would have never had to get out of Philly, we would not give two fucks who Pat Mahomes was.
But Philly was, for the success that he had in Philly was a bad situation for him.
Especially after that thing with his son, he needed to get out of Philly. Like Philly wasn't conducive, and I'm starting to feel the same way about Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh. And if they, by all means, if they want to fire Mike Tomlin, I will be the first person blowing up Balak's Twitter, Instagram, his business email, whatever I need to get Mike Tomlin in Jacksonville. That's just me, but. Hey, Pat Mahomes benefited from being in the right place at the right time, but we can probably honestly say that about everybody. Like if he didn't have Andy Reid, if Eric Bieniemy wasn't there when he was there, Kansas City would still be the ghost of Priest Holmes' past. Like, that's just what it is.
I want somebody to tell the reason why Eric Bieniemy does not have a head coaching job. I won't do it.
Black, duh.
Oh, so we've had some people on the podcast, and they kind of alluded to why he does not have a head coaching job in the NFL. But it ain't my place to tell that story. There are journalists that we know were in the rooms when these conversations were being had, and they're not telling the story. And I don't know why the story isn't being told. Because right now, it just make Eric Bieniemy look like he's been kicking seals, beating on babies and whatnot. Like we need to tell, we need to tell the truth on why he like that. It is bad enough to where he does not have he's not even considered for an HBCU head coaching job. See, here we go with it. So what we're not going to do is that. That's what we're not going to do. Because I know Marlo, that's how he starts. He start out every podcast, and he frozen right now. But when he unfreeze, we gonna have a little conversation because he likes to. This football season, I'm gonna have something he ain't got. So.
Hey, I mean, he came out with his FAMU gear. I just had to follow. I'm gonna go get my Velvet joint in a minute.
Every week. He makes it be known he's either wearing some Bucks garbage or he's wearing FAMU. So I wonder. He must be frozen because he would sit something. Yeah, he's frozen. But he makes sure. But I got something this season that he ain't got. I know he ain't got this. So this season coming up, I might even pull it out during basketball season if it get warm enough.
Hey, live score update. FAMU women just beat Mississippi Valley State 88-60.
It is. It we need it. We need it. Um,
We
it's
did.
been,
We did.
it's,
We did.
it's been some tough losses. That was a get well game. I don't care what nobody say. That's a get well game. But
Yeah,
before,
it was. I mean, I don't know if we switching gears or we still talking about football, but either way, I'm good.
no, the scope update came up, and I was just like, they really need that because the other night I watched that game and I understood why it happened, but I also know what happened last year, and they ended up making it in the tournament. So I'm not flipping out. I got to be patient. Oh, here go Marlo.
No, I mean, and honestly, against the same Gremlin team, had Olivia Delancey not got hurt, we would have won that game. So, hey.
Yeah, we still on. All right, let me stand up. This All right, but yeah, Doc, I'm gonna get Doc on here because I know he want to talk about all this stuff with crime to Dallas because I'm not even gonna lie. If I'm okay.
I'm gonna say what I gotta say about it, and people gonna call me a hater, but I'm just being honest. Prime ain't a head coach, and I think we both agree on that.
All right, I think I'm back.
Yeah, I think you're back too. All
right. Give me 1 second. All right. So it's so much around Prime that first, apparently Prime asked Colorado for more money for NIL and more money for his assistant coaches. Colorado just cut ties with their independent NIL because they're going to bring it in-house. And we'll get to that in a minute. They're going to bring it in-house. I don't know why bringing it in-house was even a thought. But, okay, y'all going to bring it in-house. If you're going to bring it in-house, you're sharing $20 million. Okay. And I don't know if that's the case what they're going to do, but they get up to $20 million to share revenue share. All right. So you bring everything in-house and you walk away from your boosters. This is a terrible idea because you're going to need them boosters later on. And most of the NILs from big schools are started by boosters rather than still who want to be somebody that they ain't. And my whole thing is, all right, why is this happening now? Oh, well, it's happening now because reports are that Prime is interested in the Dallas Cowboys job.
Hey, don't say that shit. I know we on a fan friendly, fun, family friendly show right here. You know I'm one of the old men, but don't say that shit. Not today.
Hey, Even ESPN talking about it, Doc. You can't. Even ESPN talking about it, Doc. Hey, you can't shoot the messenger.
Shooting the messenger, but I'm just saying, stay your ass in Boulder.
No, he's not gonna stay in Boulder. He's not gonna stay in Boulder for the same reason he wasn't gonna stay in Jackson. When Shadur leave, he's leaving. That is his cash cow. We being honest. We calling a spade a spade.
Hey, but that's the shit done said when he was in Jackson. I ain't mad about that. That's business.
Well, no, I know you're not mad about it, but I'm just saying let's call a spade a spade. Wherever Shadur go, Prime gonna follow.
You better follow his ass to Tennessee because that's who got the first. That's who got the first pick.
Hey, either end up in Tennessee or damn Jacksonville. That's just how it's gonna shape up.
I am no longer mad that the Raiders messed up the draft pick situation.
I'm mad that the Raiders just gave up on Antonio Pierce like that, man.
That I'm not even Raiders fan, and that's wild. But look at what the Patriots did with Mayo. Like y'all ain't getting
don't talk to me. Don't get me on that either, man. Like you knew that you didn't want that man in the first place. You knew Mike Vrabel was your first in command. Come on now. You know what Robert Kraft was out. You weren't worried about. You don't care about that. You know what Robert Kraft was out there doing. He was trying to find them hoes so he could get the massages again. Am I lying, Marlo?
I think he might be a little right. I mean,
you know what? Hold on. Let me do this since TP ain't here yet. The views and opinions shared on this podcast are not the views and opinions of Fat Mouth Sports or its subsidiaries. We may continue.
Oh man, I meant to tell you, Troy, I got my credentials for the East-West Shrine game, man.
Oh, you know what? With everything going on, I just haven't had time to even think about getting the credentials for that. Also, there's SID that apparently does not return phone calls. So I'm trying to keep
this ain't even through. This is through the Shrine. This is through the Shriners.
Oh no! Oh, I know. It's I'm starting to get heated by the fact that all the other places that I call that I need to be in contact with coaches, players, and all of that, there's not a problem. But one particular cat just does not return my phone calls, and I don't know why. But the good thing is today I found out it wasn't just me, because the podcast was going to start off with that whole why we can't contact each other. But it wasn't just me, so I don't feel bad about it no more. But I ain't gonna lie, like the last 2 days, I was in my feelings about, hey, I want to do this story and that story. And like, even if you tell me no, I'm cool with no. I'm not okay with I'm just not no communication at all. No, I'm not okay with that.
No call or no. Yeah, I don't get that. Long West Side Johnson. When I put my credentials in for next year, covering y'all, when we play y'all. Long as he don't say be on that bullshit, we good. We good. That's all I gotta say. But now, go on and give me. I'm just gonna ask Pittsburgh. Just gonna trade Mike Tomlin to the Cowboys.
Yeah,
absolutely not.
That
no.
Jerry
Jones ain't going for that. Jerry Jones ain't going for that at all. Jerry Jones would die first before that happened, and you know it.
Well, let them die.
But y'all have won a championship when he dead though.
Hey man,
when him and Buddy and ATL, when both of them dead, both teams will be successful. I promise.
Man,
it's crazy when your owner, your biggest up.
I'm gonna tell you like this. Jerry Jones been stuck in 1995 for the longest.
95.
I was a junior in high school. I was a junior in high school at the time. I was like, bro, You didn't build, none of them teams you built. That was a Jimmy Johnson built team right there.
That's facts.
And then you let Jimmy walk. I tell people this. I was like, the day that Jimmy left the Cowboys was like the president getting assassinated. It was that big of news at the time.
Well, hold on. Let me ask this question because you're a Cowboys fan. What's the purpose in denying Mike McCarthy an interview with the Bears, and y'all still gonna part ways anyway?
Because
it's
what I heard, because this is what I heard. McCarthy was trying to ask for an extension, and Jerry didn't budge because he was trying to negotiate, new contract because he did his 5 years on his contract. And he wanted to go talk to the Bears. Jerry said he cop blocked. He was cop blocking, and then you knew. And then here's the thing. So you deny him request to go talk to the Bears because what he was asking for a new contract. You deny that, knowing that you gonna fire him the next week. That was the dumbest move right there. That wasn't a Steven move. That was a Jerry move right there.
Mm-hmm.
No, I would say this. Jerry Jones don't give coaches extensions. Like, seriously. He didn't even give Jason Garrett an extension. Take that back. He gave Jason Garrett an extension of 2 years. But all the other coaches that he had, I mean, just realize, just look at the track record. When he bought the team, who did he fire? He fired the all-time the one of the best coaches that we had in Tom Landry. Lead all-time wins in Tom Landry. Get Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson with 1-15. After that, won 3 out of 4 Super Bowls. And then won two. No, we won 2 Super Bowls. Could have went to a third one, but 49ers was hating at that time. But ego got in the way. And really both egos got in the way because Jerry's like, man, we're going to do it my way. You just sit back and let me do it. And then Jimmy's like, I know what it takes to get a person here. I know what it takes to get a player here. So then you had Barry Switzer, ran him off. Had Chan Gailey, ran him off. You had Dave Campo, he was terrible. Had Bill Parcells, ran him off. Had Jason Garrett. Wade Phillips, fired him. Jason Garrett, fired him. Mike McCarthy, fired. Hey, that's his track record. Until he's the common denominator, gotta let him go.
Well, we gonna
is either Steven do a hostile takeover or we gonna be hearing about Jerry his body over at the Dallas County Medical Examiner's office.
All right, so we're gonna come back to that later because there's some other stuff we need to talk about Prime. But since you own the show, there was some terrible things happening up in DC last night because I was devastated to hear that Bowie State knocked off Howard.
Oh wow!
How you get beat up by little brother?
No wonder why Erica was so pissed.
I think I'm about to hand Mike the strap because what happened last night made no sense. You, the third best team in the MEAC, you just came off a big win. Morgan State helped you by beating Norfolk State, and then you lose to Bowie State, and then they got to play Their next game against Morehouse. And Morehouse probably looking like, you know what? We might got a shot. I don't understand it. And they got they have the MEAC freshman of the year.
Oh yeah,
easy
ballers.
How you like? And listen. I like my Howard friends. I do. But this was the. I don't want to use the D word. I'm not going to use the D word. This was about as bad as a loss as you can get. And it hurts the conference when it comes to seeding because what's going to happen? What's going on, Sean? I see you're a Bowie fan. I see you're a Bowie fan. And nobody told me that Bowie had ballers that could possibly make this upset. Nobody told me that. That wasn't a whisper. That wasn't a thought. Everybody assumed that this was going to be a rollover game and keep moving. I don't know what happened.
They lost. Shit, they didn't score more points than Bowie.
That's that PG County right there, man. They got ballers out there.
I don't even understand. Basketball is so fickle. I mean, you can get ballers on every level to go out, and if they playing well in the system, them boys gonna come and put points on the board. That's what that is.
I did not see that game.
I mean, but it's like I said, like Troy, I say this all the time, especially for black schools. Basketball can be our equalizer. You can throw a rock and find you 4 or 5 dudes that you can put together and you can knock out some big name teams. It's just we as a whole don't pay attention enough to basketball because a lot of us are football people. But if we honestly want to get money into the programs and want to make noise and want to be flagship programs, we can do that with basketball. We gotta get behind it.
Yeah. And I say this all the time. During media day, every single coach, I ask them the same thing. What can the fans help the team do? And they all say the exact same thing. Show up and be present. Every last one of them. Show up to the games. So I want to make sure we got that in because I was like, they did that after the basketball podcast. But again, Vegas made some money off that game.
They did.
They made some serious money off that game. Speaking of basketball, my Florida State Seminoles, apparently after they finally got a win and beat Pitt, decided to have some fisticuffs in the handshake line. Out of all the stuff that Coach Ham got going on right now at Florida State, players do not need to be getting into fights right now.
Do you think it's about do you think it's his time to roll up out of there?
So I'm gonna say what I said on the podcast. I said because if everything is true, if those text messages are talking to players about payments, those are NCAA violations. And if we're looking at NCAA violations, he got to go. Point blank, period. Nobody's bigger than the program. And again, him dealing with Rising Spear is a problem. Rising Spear should have never been anywhere near the program.
So that's your booster club?
It is. That was the NIL collective that is supposedly now defunct, but their money is still out there.
Oh, they got funny money.
No, they so when you can't do business with the collective, that money just don't sit. You know that money went somewhere else.
Oh, they extorting that money right there.
Somewhere else.
Hey, I honestly thought Ham was gonna be out of there a good 20 years ago, but he came up. And no, you laughing. I'm for real.
I've seen it before.
every time his head was on the chopping block, he would come up with a good 20-win season and go to the playoffs, and then they would leave him alone. And then he would have 4 or 5 lackluster years, and they'd be like, "All right, bro, we finna fire this man." And he would knock off Duke, knock off UNC, knock off a number 1, number 2 team in the country, like every single time.
Mm-hmm.
I think he might have ran out of chances this point. Because like you said, if that's true, the NCAA still carry a big stick. Like they might be dying right now and on their last leg, but they still can swing it and kill your program though.
Bro, they need a respirator.
Yeah.
The NCAA has been on a respirator since Miami got out of the death penalty.
Boy,
Miami was supposed to get.
They got asthma. They need an inhaler.
And then like, okay, so the NCAA came up with, okay, y'all can revenue share, bring your NIL in-house. Well, the Department of Education said, well, if you're going to do NIL in-house, that's an extra benefit that needs to be shared across all sports and athletes, i.e. women's sports. Otherwise, you're in violation of Title IX. Man, okay. I told y'all this was coming. Y'all wanted to play with them people. Now them people playing back. So you giving $200,000 to football players, you're gonna probably have to give $120,000-$130,000 to basketball players, basketball players.
Sure.
I mean, but it's only fair. Like I told you, I bet you if you look at the University of South Carolina right now, if you said the University of South Carolina, what is the next thing people gonna say?
Women's basketball team.
But I bet you, I will put $100 on that. That school still spends more money in trying to fund a losing football team than they do the team that has already bought them 2 championships, and 9 times out of 10 going to win a 3rd one this year.
That's only because they got $60 million in revenue.
You can't count on them to do what's right, though.
No.
Man, I'm gonna say it like this: the NCAA been some damn gangsters and bullies since SMU, like for real.
Yeah,
they've been on one for the longest since SMU, and the schools now got the last laugh. Like, you can't control this. We gonna get all the players that we want to get. We gonna form our own whatever we gonna what's gonna have. As far as like with championships and stuff like that, we're gonna cut the middleman, which is you, and we're gonna cut the little man, which is all of us. We're gonna cut them out the picture. And ain't a damn thing that you can do about it. And guess what? The little man that's in the middle, which is that G5, they like, man, you know what? They might have something going on right now, but we can get the same thing too.
Not only that, with the revenue sharing, the NCAA just this year will be the first year that the women's college basketball championship will get the same payout as the men. Women have been paying for free. So now you revenue sharing at the college level, and the NCAA had to come back and say, well, damn, I guess we'll pay y'all to come play basketball too then. So, hey, this is gonna get interesting.
Which should have been done, but which should have been done 30 years ago when
it should have.
When you got the teams, them Tennessee teams, them UConn teams, those even North Carolina back in the 90s, like they should have been done that.
They should. The money should have been there, and it wasn't, because it ain't gonna get this big. And then you look at where college basketball for women is just now getting, and then you look at Unrivaled. You got Unrivaled that's like putting on a master class on how to roll out a brand new league.
Yeah, and then when you think about it too, like I'm in Texas, man. That '93 national championship team with Cheryl Swoops and Texas Tech. Just think, man, because nobody didn't know too much other than the folks here. And then when they went all the way and won against North Carolina, it was a whole different story. But at the same time, it was like Who is Cheryl Swoops? We would have known, unless you from West Texas, unless you from that area where she from. Man, please. And then the money she would have got, you think she would have went to South Plains Junior College before she even went to Tech? No, she would have went straight to Tech. Instead of her going, in fact, instead of her going to University of Texas, which is damn near 10 hours away from her hometown, she should have went right next door, which is like 45 minutes from Brownfield, and she would have went to school there. Instead of her having to do the 2 years at South Plains, she would have went straight to Tech. She would have been a 4-year starter. She probably would have had two other championships. That's just how good she was.
Yep.
But I'm trying to be on my best behavior because all the filthy money that has
every time.
You say you be on your best behavior, but damn it, when's the last time you was on your best behavior? Oh, video.
Preach.
Again, I be on.
Show me ain't never on best behavior, man.
But
the missus over there behind that laptop about to beat him up.
Hey, I ain't got no fight in that right there, my brother.
That is funny as hell.
That was crazy right there.
But all the dirty money that has gone through the NCAA, and then to pretend to be holier than thou, like how? I'm not gonna put certain schools out there, but I went to school and seen the dirty money, and to sit there and somebody's like, "Oh no, this is amateurism." How everybody can't listen? Everybody can't come from a good family that can afford to provide their kids with UConns. Not in 1993, 94.
Expedition, or anybody about edition expeditions when them things was hot.
Or give a whole player a gold Trans Am to say, "Come to my school." At the first play, he dipped on your ass.
Let wake it up.
So they kept the car.
Kept it.
So
and kept the car.
He's not wrong. You know what they say about Eric Dickerson? He went pro and took a pay cut.
Oh yeah, he say that all the time.
Speaking of which, apparently Travis Hunter is a little upset that Quentin Ewers was offered $8 million to transfer as opposed to go pro, and he wanted to know where his $8 million was.
He going pro.
I'm about to say he did his time. He did his 3 years.
Time to go.
Yeah, it's time to go.
Time to go.
But shout out to them Ibis people.
Travis Hunter don't have a COVID year, do we?
Mm-mm.
He ain't never had a COVID. He came in 22.
Yep.
22. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So he don't even have a COVID. He don't have a COVID year. So yeah, time to go.
Technically, Travis got 2 more years. Because if you really think about it, he only played 5? He played in a handful of games with Hills Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
But remember, he was injured.
He still got a red shirt. Yeah,
he got a red shirt.
He did red shirt.
He got a red shirt.
No, he didn't red shirt.
He didn't red shirt?
No.
He may be able to get.
We're
talking crazy right now, but he could get a medical hardship.
He read medical hardship because he missed half of the season at Jackson.
Okay.
And then you could say he could get one from last season or from the year before because he was out for like 4 games because he had his spleen.
Ruptured
spleen.
But it don't matter. He going pro. Hopefully the Raiders do the right thing. We don't need
the first pick.
Y'all need so much. Y'all worry about the wrong thing.
Marlo, you know what the Raiders and the Bucks got in common? We both at home.
Y'all was home before us. Y'all beat the street lights.
That's all right. That's all right.
Y'all beat the street lights. Y'all mama ain't even have to call y'all. They was in the house watching the 6 o'clock news.
It's all right. It's all right. All we gotta do is get the right coaching hire, and we straight.
Well,
how long have y'all been doing that same? But man,
y'all just fired him.
Yes.
Y'all just fired the man.
We got that dude. See, here's the problem, right? We got a dude in our building that want to do stuff like conduct interviews and all this stuff.
Y'all got a dude in our building with 7 championship rings. Y'all got a dude in y'all building with 7 championship rings.
And now actually he got 8 because he got one when the Aces won 1 year ago. Got another
8.
What's up?
Got 8. Boy, they got a championship.
I'm in the building. I'm here. Yeah, they beat traffic. All the lights and screen. We on time.
Well, you know what? Since TP here, you know, Caleb Williams was on a podcast with the brothers St. Brown, and they were talking about, you know, coaching hires and what he wanted in coaching hires, and then he brought up the Detroit Lions offensive coordinator.
Aaron Glenn.
No, not Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn DC. No, Ben Johnson. He brought up Ben Johnson.
Okay.
The OC.
Yeah.
I think we just interviewed Glenn in Jacksonville. I hope they don't hire him.
Why not?
No. As long as we got Balk as a GM, I don't want no coach in Jacksonville. Send us all the trash until they fire the GM, and then we'll then get somebody that's worthy, because he ain't gonna let nobody do their job.
Well, I don't want who I
let him stay in Detroit before he ruin that man's career. Nope.
I'm just glad he didn't go to the Patriots, because I don't trust the Crabs at all.
I talked what I say earlier. Hey, what I say earlier, Marlo.
We just said
what I say earlier, Marlo. Kraft out there trying to find them hoes. That's what he doing. I told
Trying
you.
And look, they gonna talk to Brian Leftwich. I forget the other guy. Some guys that they got no chance of being a head coach, just so they can satisfy this whole Rooney Rule part that they gotta interview a minority, knowing they wanted Mark Vrabel from the start.
So let's just go ahead and call a spade a spade. The NFL owners found a loophole in the Rooney Rule, and they are using it to their purposes. And people keep telling me, oh, they were posting the interviews of people they interviewed in the past. That's well and fine. But why is the first post on interviews you do every time is 2 black men? Oh, wait, because that's the Rooney Rule requirement. And then it's, oh, yeah, we hired Mike Vrabel. Wow. Y'all ain't white guys.
Look, we just gonna hire Mike Vrabel, but I know you gotta satisfy that rule. But I
think that we've evolved to the point where the owners are just going to hire whoever they feel is the best candidate. So we're seeing African Americans in head coaching positions, right? There's been a lot of them. I don't think that the whole Rooney Rule should even still be a thing, because now it's a joke.
It is.
It's a joke now. Like, if you wanted Mike Vrabel from the start, then say that. That's our number one candidate.
But here's the thing, though. When did Mike Vrabel get fired from Tennessee? 2 years ago, right?
2 years ago.
Yeah.
So why did once Belichick was gone, why didn't you just go ahead and say, look, because he was the successor for Bill Belichick. It wasn't no Josh McDaniels. Josh McDaniels is a damn joke. It wasn't Matt Patricia. It wasn't Matt Patricia. It wasn't Steve Belichick. It wasn't none of them guys. Mike Vrabel was the predecessor to Bill Belichick, point blank.
And I feel bad for Gerard Mayo because I don't feel like he got a fair shot.
He didn't.
Because
we just said that.
They didn't have to hire him. Like it's like we're saying, right? Now we at a point where we feel like the Roman rule is a joke. Fine. You did not have to hire him. You could have hired who you wanted.
Right.
Like you didn't have to. So now everybody looking at you funny in the light because you fired a man after a year. Same thing with Oakland. But you didn't have to hire him. You simply could have hired who you were gonna hire out of the gate, and nobody would have thought twice about it. We have looked at him and be like, dang, Mike Tomlin, the only black coach in the league.
They knew it was gonna be trash. Well, we got what you calling in Atlanta.
Who?
You got Raheem.
They got Raheem Morris.
Raheem Morris.
Raheem Morris. Nico Ryans in Houston.
How about to say Domingo Tom Bowles at Tampa?
Yeah.
But he did that goes back to the original point. He really did not. They didn't have to hire him. They could have left the man alone.
But here's the thing: it may have been his contract.
Antonio Pierce and Gerard Mayo were put in no-win situations. Like owners that didn't want to hire
trash team too.
I think Antonio Pierce got the shit end of the stick because they didn't even draft him a quarterback.
Sure didn't.
Look, when I think about quarterback rooms, right, not just the starting quarterback, you got to have some type of a veteran presence in that locker room for the quarterbacks. They went into the season with Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew. Who's teaching who? Because they both trash.
Hell, Gardner Minshew was a failed experiment in Jacksonville. That tells you what
he's been a failed experiment everywhere. Look, he threw that on 4th and 2. He slung the ball behind his running back to lose his team the season. That's the guy you brought in. And look, when he threw the pass, he walked into the sideline. The coach said, "That's on you." That's how I knew that was the last pass he would ever throw as a coach.
Well, you know who ain't got no coach, still ain't got no coach right now, and we are 3 weeks away from National Signing Day.
Valley,
Mississippi Valley.
Ooh.
What is going on, man?
I mean, why did they fire Wade?
Word on the street, Wade went to the administration and demanded that they get their things for the football team. Like they really need stuff for the football team. I don't know.
He did his job and advocated for his players, and they told him, "You don't work here no more."
You don't work here no more.
Basically. Like people really want to go to Valley to coach football. Calling a spade a spade. Not saying that the area is bad. Not saying that the people are bad. Just saying.
It's just the administration. That's it.
Man, the same administration.
I hope they lose every game, but that's a norm for them. So I'm gonna shut up.
The same administration that accepted the inaugural invitation from Donald Trump to send your band up there.
Nah, that was their band already. He did the same shit when he was at Tougaloo. He did the same shit when he was at Tougaloo. That's it.
He does not have the final say. It goes through the administration. Yeah. They have to okay it. They have to find dollars to send them kids.
Sure did find it.
Yeah, they got a GoFundMe.
Because it wasn't none of us that was sending that shit to.
Exactly.
What else?
I was looking at every time, but MBSU fanatics. All I know is they were posting something on there, and every time I look at the GoFundMe, they were raising it every time. I was like, "Oh, that's a slick move y'all pulled right there," because you know damn well you are gonna get a whole $350,000 just to get like that. So you just have to bump it up if you get your goal. But yeah, we got the same. It's the same Mississippi Valley that's had the AD is the interim AD is the head basketball coach.
Sound like that school in Daytona.
But guess what though? At least that school in Daytona. Hey, don't get me wrong. At least that man with that 1980s Jerry curl is getting shit done down there in Daytona. While he coaching basketball too. And he ain't no interim. That man is in charge of everything.
Yeah, he been in Bethune what 20 years now?
Nah, Michigan only get there about a couple of years ago.
No. I'm talking about but at Bethune. I feel like he been there forever.
The AD.
Reggie Theus.
No, the AD is Reggie Theus.
Yeah, hold on. Let's see.
No, he only been there for about 3-4 years.
Bro, I swear I feel like he been there forever. It might be the Jerry curl.
Oh, you know, I gotta call this man for an interview, right? I just want y'all to know that.
Hey man,
yes.
He got that soul glow.
Hey. At this point, he got to know people talk about that damn Jerry curl. He got to.
Man, that man got the Chicago Jerry curl going right there. Ain't too wet, not too dry. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, man.
He said, "Ain't too wet, not too dry." That's funny.
So he's been at Bethune since 2021.
Right?
2021.
You know what product he used, right?
What's that?
Soul Glow.
Soul Glow.
Nah, I was getting ready to go back old school. That man got that luster silk right there.
Oh shit!
My food before I blow a gasket up here.
Oh my god! Oh my god! So what? One of the things that I definitely want to talk about. Tennessee State fired their band director today.
Did they fire him or they put him on administrative leave?
Oh no, he is let go. He was first put on administrative leave and then he was let go. And this was after an audit. And there are Tennessee people that I follow on Twitter that I ask, hey, before I lean into the state of Tennessee, like, am I okay leaning into Tennessee? And they've said on both sides, like it's both the state of Tennessee who owed him $2 billion. Right. And it's also how people have managed Tennessee State. So it's two things, but that $2 billion is still $2 billion. Mm-hmm. You don't have to do crazy stuff if you got the money that you're supposed to get.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think they know the right people, because I don't give a shit who you are. My pull-up game is different when you owe me $2 billion.
Shit, the state of Florida owe fam $3 billion. So when we pulling up on North Monroe?
We need to go ASAP. But the problem with fam is everybody. We got people who are on the legislature up there in Tallahassee, and see this. They try to keep the sensible folks at bay from doing something extra special, but I'm about tired of them too, because they don't have no problem sending them checks.
Alexander was the last one up there really getting us checks like that for real. Like we haven't seen like money like that since they got Ramon Alexander up out of there.
You know, y'all already know how I feel about the governor of the great state of Mississippi.
Boy, they better get money. The Brett Favre.
Hey, we can put that one and DeSantis and his cowboy boots in the rocket launcher and send them to the moon.
Nah, you know who I need to send to the moon? TP. Tell him who I need to send to the moon. Governor Hot Wheels. Roll his ass on down.
Governor Hot Wheels.
While you at it, go ahead and send Ted Cruz on punk ass up there too. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, Hot Wheels gotta go to.
Man.
Yeah.
So you sent me something about the Department of Education. I didn't get a chance to read it. What is the information that's pertinent in that?
So now, since schools are going to revenue share and do NIL internally, they also have to pay the young ladies, because otherwise they're in violation of Title IX. And every school, just about every school that I saw that said they were going to bring their or use revenue sharing, they also included women as a part of that component. I have not seen at this time, I haven't seen what Florida State plans to do, but obvious reasons with the litigation we got going on. We don't know what the future holds, so that probably won't be released till later. But these are mostly Power 4 Group of 5 schools that are talking about doing this. So, I mean, they wanted this. They wanted to have control of the NIL. And now they are about to realize that they can no longer get into bidding wars with other schools if they have nothing but their internal NIL. So, good luck with that. Notre Dame.
So this is going to create a logistical nightmare for teams or schools that don't already have an NIL collective.
No, if you don't have an internal NIL, nothing changes because it's not an extra benefit. But if you do start giving football players revenue sharing, it's an extra benefit and it must be shared across the board. Otherwise, you're in violation of Title IX.
Okay.
But this what Dabu wanted. This is what Dabu wanted. And now it's gonna crush his program.
When he gonna leave?
I swore to God that he said that he would retire before he went into the transfer portal, and he ain't retired yet.
No, and he not really do it.
I'm sorry. I'm saying the wrong thing. John Christopher has not said he was going to retire because I will not call a grown man Dabu who's supposed to be leading men. So John Christopher has not retired as of yet.
Damn. Call that man whole government.
Call that man but his mama name. Your mama named you Christopher. I'm calling you Christopher.
That's his real name?
John Christopher.
Hey, I thought his name was
It ain't worse than what I did when I said our Coach Prime whole name. Deion Lewin Sanders Sr., stay your ass in Colorado.
Deion Lewin.
Oh man. Yeah. Wow.
So you think him going to coach the Cowboys is a terrible idea?
I don't think his ego is going to let another grown man that makes probably like $30 or $40 million more than what he's going to make. He's going to try to tell him what to do.
You talking about the GM or the owner? Because the owner is the GM.
We know that. He just needs to go ahead
and croak.
Golden Gate funeral home just need to go up there and just get his body and do what they got to do and just run the team.
I'm gonna do it this time. The opinions expressed on Fat Mouth Sports are those strictly from the participants. We do not condone. Yeah, that part.
I did a Marlo.
Oh man,
I just told the funeral home to go get this live man.
Damn, I did a Marlo. Oh man,
a whole lot. At least I only give suggestions. He just told him, go get his ass.
Listen, I'm not blaming nobody because I'm still trying to apply for the security guard position for the Las Vegas Raiders.
Denied.
So I can get Tom Brady Carto every day. Every day.
He ain't even gonna be there every day.
When he there, he paying $250 to get his car back. Every time.
Wait a minute. What Tom Brady doing this? He with who he with?
He's a part owner of the Raiders.
I know he's part owner of the Raiders, but I'm talking about he does. He's a commentator on Fox, right?
Yeah, on Fox.
Oh, him and Greg Olson is they're one and the same.
All I'm saying is, Greg Olson, call me. I will help you get that man. I know what he did to you. We can jump it.
He ain't do nothing, but he did it for himself.
Hey, if you talking about you need Greg Olson, you need to get 7th floor Greg Olson. Not Greg Olson now.
You know what? Since we're talking violence, Cam has said that he is going to be at the Super Bowl, and if Buddy Fat Cheeks is going to be at the Super Bowl, he want them to keep that same energy because they decided.
Who is Buddy Fat Cheeks?
The little conservative sports guy, Jason Whitlock.
Oh Lord!
They couldn't get no play from Joy Taylor. Oh
yeah,
man,
yeah. They had some words
with your peanut butter skin.
Oh my! Like, I don't know what platform he's on, but to sexually harass a woman across the internet is absolutely wild. Like, somebody need to get that man. I thought Stephen A was gonna get him, but
wait a minute. You talk about harassing women. Jill Scott ain't got a chance.
That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
Oh,
you shoot your shot to the atmosphere every chance you get. And you married.
Now, Jason Whitlock was disrespectful. He was talking about body parts and stuff like that. He
really
did
was.
way too much.
He put too much out there. Now he Skip Bayless ass. Look,
I am not Jason Whitlock. I bought concert tickets. Thank you.
Touché, sir. That makes it better.
Skip Bayless.
We're gonna move on because Mama is determined to make this a bad thing, and we're not going to do that.
I'm just saying, when you look into the camera with rosary eyes and say, "Just got, it's your boy." It's me. All we gotta do is walk down the street together, hold hands.
You remember that whole little monologue, huh?
I'm just saying. I just find it different. That's
You know what? You know what? I'm gonna move along. Because you're determined to cause problems in my life. Anyway,
absolutely not.
I said we're gonna choose violence. We gonna talk about violence today. Right now. We decided to jump on violence.
Oh man. So, well, we do have a national championship that is going to be held on Monday by a team that absolutely positively did not win their conference. And another team who does not have a conference. My first question is, do conferences even matter?
Yes.
Absolutely.
It do. Because you want to know why? Revenue sharing. If that team get to the bowl games, they get that revenue, they get that money. Guess what? They got to divvy that up to the conference. Unlike them leprechauns up in South Bend, keep all that shit to themselves.
Keep it in the church.
What I don't think is every team that wins their conference should automatically get a bye, because Arizona State and Boise State should not have had bye weeks.
But they won their conference though.
I don't care. Look at where were they ranked? They weren't ranked in the top 4. They shouldn't have had a home. They shouldn't have had a bye week.
Hey man, but I'm just letting you know, Arizona State put y'all boys on skates in that game.
Who won?
Y'all won, yeah, y'all won because they kept messing. Y'all, but who put them in the position to even win the game though?
Shit, themselves. They played a hell of a game. Shout out to them.
Y'all need to fire y'all kicker. Your NIL money is gone.
He was about to have to walk home. That's all I'm saying.
Bruh, he missed 2 easy field goals. 2 of them things. And
you see, he wasn't the kicker in the Ohio State game.
Oh man!
Hey,
All right.
He was not our kicker in the Ohio State game.
I wanted both of y'all to lose. I just put it just like that. I'm not a Longhorn. TP know this. I ain't no Longhorn fan.
You sound like you root for the Maize and Blue.
Nah, I'm not the people from North either. I'm Rocky Top. I'm volunteering, baby.
I got you. But didn't they lose too? Didn't they get mocked?
Yeah, we got mocked, man.
Hey, at least we ain't get mocked. We fought.
Shoot, until great value JJ Watt bullied y'all with took the ball away from y'all.
I mean, it was fourth down.
Yeah,
it was fourth down where we had first and goal from the 1. There was some questionable calls, and I blame the coach. I can't put it all on.
So hold on.
I will agree with you on that, TP. Sarkeesian need his ass whooped.
There's no way we don't get in from the 1. Y'all that scared of Talik Williams? We that scared of one dude.
So I'm gonna move this along because TP.
Yeah,
I'm gonna move this along. I mean,
PTSD over here.
I'm gonna move this along. So as we pull up to this championship game, does anybody give Notre Dame a shot to win this game?
I do.
As what have we learned?
I don't think it's gonna be a dog walk. I think it's honestly gonna be a good game. So
everybody has doubted Notre Dame from the start. And it all goes back to their loss against NIU. That when they lost to NIU, everybody said Notre Dame is cooked, they trash, get this coach out of there. Mm-hmm. We heard it all, right? And all they've done is whoop everybody ass for the rest of the season, even Georgia.
Convincing you.
You know what I mean? Now they escaped one with Penn State because Penn State should have won that game.
Penn State shot themselves in the foot in that game right there.
They did.
What's his name? Drew Allen.
He must have some money on the game because ain't no way in the world
had to
interception like that.
Had to.
He took the under on himself and went in and completely threw the game away.
I had to watch that game. I had to rewatch that game 3 times, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, who the hell is you looking at?
Right.
Like, who are you looking at? Did you make some money? Like, I literally just thinking in my head, this man that made some money off this game.
You can blame whoever you want, but the start and finish of it is James Franklin. They was gonna lose that game because big game James always fails.
I mean, that's what it looked like. He had won some big games to get in that situation, but let's be honest. Penn State didn't have to play nobody in their first 2 games.
They didn't. They steamrolled SMU, and I was still looking at that game right there, like
SMU looked like they didn't belong.
Yeah, Kevin Jennings, who was you throwing it to? Because I'm like,
he took the under on himself as well,
bro.
You know them boys be on prize picks. Like, hey, if I only throw 2 touchdowns, I win $10K. There we go. Like, come on.
I know Kevin though, man. I know him, through my niece because they graduated together.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, what is you doing? 3 in the first half.
Yeah.
2 pick sixes.
And then they go and play Boise, right?
Wish that could have been a game right there.
No disrespect to Boise State, but their roster was not as talented as Penn State. I love Anderson Pitts. Best running back in the country, where we all know it, right?
Yep.
The way that game was going to play out went exactly how I thought it would. It was going to slow him down, and they was going to get Boise State third and longs, and that quarterback wasn't going to be able to convert. And that's literally what happened the whole game. Genty got his here and there, but it wasn't enough to keep drives going because you take one negative run and now you're throwing it on second down. Now you're 3rd and 11, 3rd and 15, and the quarterback and those receivers couldn't get it done, not against Penn State.
And when you think about it, when you look at both of those games that Penn State played, the first round and the quarterfinal, they gang tackle. Like it was one person come, it's probably about 4 or 5 of them coming right back to that one person. They gang tackle, and especially when they play Bowie State, it had to be about 9 folks tackling Ashton Genty. But I'm like, bro, this dude.
I said it right here on this podcast. If Penn State is going to win this game, then they have to be intentional when it comes to stopping Ashton Genty. Forget everything else that's going on. We got to tackle number 2 because if you don't get number 2 on the ground, it's going to be a long day for your defense. They're going to get tired, and guess what? Now there's 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 4s, 3rd and 1s. Now they come.
Now this dude broke Barry Sanders' record.
Right.
You got 200 yards on your ass already with 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Right. So they had to come out and game tackle. And even on some of those, you go back and look at it, even on some of them game tackles, it still took 3-4 people to bring him down. He's that good. So for him to still have 100 yards against Penn State, who hadn't gave up a 100-yard rusher all year, I feel like the game plan was flawed because they weren't going to be able to just run Ashton Genty the whole game. They should have developed other options, especially the short passing game. Stay out of 3rd and long, and they just didn't do it.
So, do you think Notre Dame had an easier role too? Because you think about it, they played Indiana in the first round, right?
Indiana's a good team.
Yeah, but they're a good team. They're a good team, but it was almost a blowout. But Indiana cut it down to 10. Then they played Georgia, who didn't have Carson Beck. It really didn't matter because Carson Beck mine was already gone to Miami in that $4 million that he got.
It's going to be around 10 with the rest of the endorsements and everything.
Okay, so he will think about money. And what else did he have? I mean, and then of course they played Penn State. Like, okay,
but we expect Georgia to dominate in the trenches, right? We expect that at a minimum. They didn't do that.
No, they got blown off the ball.
Notre Dame blew them off the ball. It was ugly. It was ugly in the trenches for Georgia on both sides of the ball. And that was one of the worst quarterback play games. It was almost as bad as the Penn State Notre Dame game. But that's where I give the edge to Ohio State. So after all this, if we're gonna give the edge to a team, I have to give it to Ohio State because they have had better quarterback play.
But here's the thing. Do you follow the recipe what Texas was doing to Jeremiah Smith? Because he only had 3 catches in the game. He was not an impact in the game last week. I mean,
he didn't have to be.
That is true. He didn't have to be, but do you follow some of that? Like what caught Ohio State off guard was the wheel routes from the running back out of the backfield, and you seen Texas do that twice.
Yeah.
So then all you have to do, just when you get into the red zone, when you get down to the 1 yard line, just get behind the center, hand off, touchdown. Don't go left and right.
We got to bring in Arch QB sneak on the one. I don't know what, like, QB sneak is a thing. You can run it.
Yeah.
You got a 6'4", 230-pound quarterback. The QB sneak would have worked.
Was Quinn concussed? I think he was concussed.
I don't know what was wrong because he was making good plays down the stretch. Like I said, I can't put it all on him because he did what he needed to do up until that last third down that we didn't convert, that Ohio State went and scored afterwards. But if Notre Dame tries to double and triple Jeremiah Smith, then they're gonna get killed by Ime Udoka and what's number 17? I can't think of his name right now. And you still got to worry about Kushan and Travion Henderson. So they have other weapons, and that's how they're able to be successful, because you can't just take one person away and think that you're going to stop their offense. And if Will Howard is on his game, it's going to be a long day for Notre Dame. Like, they don't have the quarterback that can combat him. So if it turns into a shootout, they lost, because they don't have a quarterback that can air it out like Will Howard can.
Well, I will say this though. It's gonna be some old school Midwest ball right here that's gonna be played.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be pretty. It's gonna look ugly.
Ugly.
Hit you in the mouth football.
That's it.
Yeah. It's definitely gonna be ugly.
And this game is in Atlanta, right?
Championship game.
Yeah, it's in Atlanta.
Atlanta, yeah. So I guess we'll go ahead and recap these playoffs. And I know a certain person don't necessarily want to talk about this, but we got to talk about the Buccaneers losing to the rookie sensation. I thought the Bucs were going to win this game. As much as I heckled Marlo, I really thought Todd Bowles was going to be able to figure out the rookie and go ahead and put him on his back. No.
He did figure him out.
He really did.
They only scored.
He figured him out for the first 3 quarters.
They only scored 23 points. And that came with a touchdown in the red zone. We turned it over in the red zone.
There was a pivotal point in that game where I saw the momentum shift to Tampa Bay, and they held it for most of the game. It was on that QB scramble when Baker Mayfield basically ran over 2 dudes, spent off, kept going. I say, oh, Buccaneers won this. Because when your quarterback does stuff like that, it ignites things in the other players on the field. And they played well up until the fourth quarter. And I don't know what happened. Jaden Daniels happened. He made plays that nobody else would have made. He put the team on his back, and the young bull got his team to the second round. History made. The Washington franchise had not won a playoff game since 2005. I was still in high school.
I wasn't even in high school yet. I ain't get in high school until 2000. I think I graduated in 2009. So what was that? No, I wasn't in high school.
That would have been your freshman year.
Yeah,
going into
I was just there. Going into
nothing warms my heart more than watching the Bucs lose on national TV.
That's just a hater of you, sir.
Jesus.
We've already everybody on this show tonight know that is the role you play. Like, you root for every team you root for are pretty much cellar dwellers right now. So you have to take your venomous vitriol out on somebody else. You can't
You can't just tell me hurt people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you do. Like, you can't cheer for your team, so you.
Hey, who hurt you, bro?
I'm just asking. Because anybody else who wants to see a team that your team not even playing, but you want to see a team do bad, I don't wish none of these teams bad. I hope they go out and play a very good game. If they win, they win. If they lose, they lose. But you, oh my God, it warms my heart for the Bucs to lose. Like, that's just a bona fide hater. We have come to grips with that is what you do.
For Marlo to lecture me on haterism, we got a whole clip out there with 800 views of Marlo saying, I don't want y'all to win nothing.
Oh, that's that school in Daytona. I don't want them to win. I don't even want them to win marbles.
I don't want them to win shit either, Marlo. We on the same.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Hope you lose everything.
And that's not because I'm rooting.
Up your toe and hit your shin every time you get out the bed.
Jamal, I'm not gonna leave this straight, Jamal. It wasn't. It was the whole SWAC conference. It was everybody. He wasn't just Bethune. It was everybody.
We know what I've said about the SWAC. So,
hey, guess what though?
Here we go.
The King is in here.
How's that game?
King's in here, man.
Oh man.
So what other game you want to talk about?
So.
Oh shit!
Apparently, TP want to talk about his Texans, and I
got
got
some
questions.
nothing.
I got some questions.
This foolishness. He put words about my. I ain't said who you want to talk about. He said, "Oh, apparently TP want to talk about." I ain't said nothing. I asked the question.
Well, so I was gonna ask some questions because since we already not getting credentials from the Bucks, I wanted to ask some questions, but we can move along in the interest of time.
Come on, ask. I'll be more than I am. I am the honest observer of my team. I could do. What question you got? Let me answer them really quick for you.
So my first question, Marlo, is: does Baker Mayfield still have loft?
No, I don't think Baker lost that game. The fumble hurt, but I don't think he lost that game. I think a lot of bad play calling. You have a running back that's getting yards against a team that has a pretty decent front four. Why you stop running? Like, why you bring Rashad White in the game? And he wasn't doing it. When Bucky was
the Commanders' rush defense has been suspect all year, by the way.
All year, and you stop running the damn ball. Letting Baker throw these quick outs, and run the damn ball. On the gadget play, all they had to do, the one he fumbled, all they had to do was turn around and hand the damn ball off.
You sound like me as a Longhorn fan.
That shit is just crazy to me. But yeah, the Baker didn't lose the game. Baker made some outstanding throws that game, actually.
All right, so Baker Mayfield, in your opinion, is now a top 10 quarterback.
Is he a top 10 quarterback?
Yeah. I mean, this year, I would say this year he's a top 10 quarterback.
He is. He got 41 touchdowns, 4,500 yards passing.
I would take him over
to the playoffs. Mm-hmm.
You know what? I would take him over Joe Burrow. Right.
I ain't finna say all that.
I want to do that.
I don't know what you talking about.
No, what is Joe Burrow?
See, when I'm trying to say something nice, see what I'm just saying. I try to say
don't disrespect
nice.
Joe.
But Joe Burrow, Joe Burrow led the league in touchdowns. How you don't take Baker off him?
I'm gonna always take the winning quarterback. I like quarterbacks who win. So I was taking the winning quarterback, even if he happened to be a Buccaneer. But that's neither here nor there.
Tebow made it to the playoffs. You gonna take him?
Hell no, he can't even throw the ball.
Well, I see Go Sam Darnold made it to the playoffs. You see what happened with him.
So TP, apparently you forgot. So let me remind you: fuck Steve Spurrier, fuck Tim Tebow, fuck Chris Leak. Fuck.
Hey, Chris Lee got the shit in of the steak that year. Wait a minute.
Wait.
Shit on. Fuck Chris Lee.
Chris Leak is my boy. He is good. Chris Leak is good people.
All the hard work that season, and they gave Tim Tebow and his
all the credit.
Nah, we ain't gonna talk about Chris.
Nah, we ain't doing that.
Nah, you can be mad at Tebow. You can be mad at Urban. I like to fondle women in balls. Myers, leave Chris Leak out of it.
If they put them uniforms on. They
No.
boot skins to me.
Aaron Hernandez was in Gainesville shooting people in, but we gonna leave Chris Meek alone.
He was catching bodies and going to class at the same time.
Hey man, it's like 2 unsolved murders in Gainesville right now that they thoroughly believe that Aaron Hernandez did it.
Yeah,
you never know.
You know what? I rest my case. I don't even have to say no more. That was everything you need to know.
You're gonna get Chris Meek out of it though. We know that much.
Listen,
there was what, 5 other playoff games this weekend?
Yeah,
I believe it was 5.
Yeah.
So I'll just start with the one where the complete letdown, right? Now I ain't gonna start in Houston. I'm gonna start with the Minnesota Vikings.
No.
Because I've been saying it all year that Sam Darnold was not him.
Talking
now,
big
I was
shit.
called a hater. I was saying I don't.
Hey, you don't know what you talk about if you called them fakes earlier this year.
I called them fake when they beat us. I called them fake the whole season. I said, look, Sam Darnold is only good when everything is working. He is only good when the O-line is blocking, the run game is going, and Justin Jefferson catching contested catches all game. That's the only time Sam Darnold good. Because when they get into situations where, Justin Jefferson's covered, the offensive line can't hold for 8 seconds because he loves to hold the ball, he's going to look bad. And they went in there and they got their ass whooped by the Rams. They got absolutely embarrassed on Monday night.
They scored 9 points.
If I may, college football playoffs, fuck y'all. Because they had 2 young boys in that playoff game, Jared Verse and Brandon Fisk from Florida State, who were having a field day.
And they also had a dude from South Carolina State named Jacoby Durant.
Yeah, he played
picking shit off.
He played well that game too.
You cannot hold the ball for 5 seconds in the NFL.
No, absolutely, you are right.
You cannot hold the ball, and that's what Sam Darnold has done his entire life. It didn't look good at USC. It looked worse in New York. Looked bad in Carolina. Why did people think that he was good? Because the Vikings were winning games against lesser opponents. Look at their schedule. When they had to play real teams, they did not do well. They didn't. So they got embarrassed. And Sam Darnold probably won't be in Minnesota next year. I don't know if he does throughout the season to earn himself a job somewhere else. He might be a Raider.
What was that QB? I think his name was Lemon. He was just everybody's backup. I swear he played for every team in the league. They would bring him in as a backup. What was that dude's name?
Is Patrick?
No,
he was back in the day. He should be out of the league now, but it was this dude. I swear that man played for every team of the league. He would always be like number 2 on the depth chart. He's just there just in case your starter get hurt to get you through a series or 2. That's who Sam Darnold will be very short.
Yeah, I don't know. I called it. I called that, and I knew they was about to get embarrassed by LA.
So
I didn't know it was going to be that bad, but I knew LA. I had a very strong feeling LA was going to win that game.
So I'm gonna move along to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And first off,
they played the wrong team, brother.
I want to give Neighbor Lady credit for making it as a starting quarterback all the way through the season because I didn't think you would make it past week 8. So shout out to you. But
you didn't think who would make it past week 8?
Russell Wilson.
You didn't think Russell Wilson would make it past week 8?
Russell Sierra Wilson was gonna make it past. He said that.
That's fine. He know he is Mr. Sierra. That is fine. But you really didn't think that he would make it past week 8?
because I thought that he would try to do what he did. He hold the ball too long, try to make superhero plays, and they go left. And down the stretch, that's what he did, and it limited their offense. He was not on time with the ball. He was not on the same page with the wide receivers. Like it down the stretch. The Steelers look bad. It looked bad. Like, we know you can't throw. We just gonna load up against the run, and it's gonna do what it do.
But then what people gonna say? What? We ain't have a good quarterback, but Mike Tomlin got us to the promised land. He got us to the playoffs again.
Hey, you know what?
How many years are the Pittsburgh Steelers going to put up with mediocrity? How many? Because when is the last time that the Steelers were able to win more than one playoff game in the season?
2 presidents ago. 2
Tomlin said, when did Tomlin become the head coach?
I said it early. If they want to fire him, that might be the only coach right now. I'm like, yeah, come on to Jacksonville, bro. We'll take you.
Nah, you come to the Cowboys. I don't care. We'll tie Jerry up, put him in the insane asylum.
No good things happen to Jerry Jones. Nah.
I ain't worried about Jerry. It's about the people in Dallas.
No,
I am a fan.
Jerry not gonna let him do his job.
We're gonna tie Jerry up and send him to Green Oaks.
Hold on, time out.
We're not plotting kidnappings. We can't plot kidnappings on the podcast.
We gonna tie him up, send him to Timberview.
Oh man.
Ship him all the way to Mississippi to send him Whitfield.
All right.
So the Steelers had to play arguably the best team in the AFC. We could throw these records away at this point. We in the playoffs, right? The Ravens are a better team than both the Bills and the Chiefs. The Chiefs squirted by this season, and they had a lot of one possession, won by the skin of their teeth games, and they beat the Bills very convincingly in the head-to-head. So the Ravens are the best team in the AFC right now. If we throw the records away, they are the best team. Now, if y'all don't agree, let me know.
No, I agree.
Oh no.
But I'm gonna throw this out there. I'm gonna throw this out there. If the Ravens are the best team in the AFC, and the MVP race is between him and Josh Allen.
Josh Allen ain't no damn MVP. Stop.
Let me finish.
Let him finish.
I want to
hear the question.
Why are the pundits not saying that the guy with 40 plus touchdowns, 4,000 yards passing, and 900 yards rushing? Why are the pundits saying he's not the MVP front runner?
8 Pro Bowlers. Stupid. 8 Pro Bowlers. That's the narrative that has been drawn up, is the fact that Josh Allen doesn't have all pros on his team and Lamar Jackson does, and he was able to win 4 games.
He only had one all-pro on his team.
But you can make the case that those dudes are all Pro Bowlers because of Lamar Jackson. Like, what?
Derrick Henry is Derrick Henry.
I'm about to say Derrick Henry is in the league of his own.
Yeah, we're not gonna worry about Derrick Henry.
Zay Flowers is not nowhere near a top 10 wide receiver in the league. No, he's not. I will take Amari Cooper before I take Zay Flowers.
Thank you. That's what I've been saying.
Real. I will take Amari Cooper before I take Zay Flowers. Now, who else on that offense was a Pro Bowler? The fullback, Patrick Ricard. So we saying that the quarterback ain't as good as the other one because he got a good fullback and an undersized wide receiver. We got to stop it.
Oh, you forgot about Mark Andrews.
Oh, and Mark Andrews. I don't think he made the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, he did.
Then you look at all the Pro Bowlers that's on the defensive side. I don't think that matters. What matters is what we see on the field. And Lamar Jackson has been a better player this entire season. He's been a better player than Josh Allen since he came into the league. I I don't care about the Pro
I
Bowl.
think it's every week. And I try to limit like major sports media because it's ridiculous at this point. But it's like every week they try to find something. You go, oh, see, this is why Josh Allen should be MVP and not Lamar Jackson. What? Like, it's no way that you watch both of those guys play throughout this season and went, yeah, if I'm starting a franchise tomorrow, give me Josh Allen.
No, I want Lamar. I want number 8.
Nobody is saying that. Everybody's if I'm starting a franchise tomorrow, get me a Lamar Jackson.
If I'm the Dallas Cowboys right now, I would say fuck Dak Prescott, give me Lamar Jackson. I would try to move him in the earth to try to get.
Dallas had the opportunity to draft
get Derrick Henry. No, I'm gonna tell you what Dallas had the opportunity to do. Dallas had the opportunity this past offseason to get Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry has a house here in Dallas. Derrick Henry trains here in Dallas. He had a chance to get Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry wasn't even asking for a lot of money. But you want to go back to Zeke because I was talking to my uncle about this. He was like, well, they owe Zeke that money on the back end. I was like, I don't care. Zeke is a whole shell of himself. He didn't want to be back here anyway in the first place. I would have went for Derrick Henry. Why? But guess what? We saw what happened. Shit, we was dead last in rushing yards as a team. Even though we got a 1,000-yard rusher in Rico Dowdle, I mean, shout out to him. We were dead last as a team in running the ball because why? We wanted to. You wanted to keep featuring Dak, which we keep saying. I've always said this. I said this from the beginning when he was drafted. He is not a big game baller. He is a game manager. You keep his attempts. And see if I'm wrong about this. If you keep his passing attempts under 30, you win the game. He can throw for 4 touchdowns. He might have 1 interception. But if you keep his passing attempts under 30, well, let's say under 35. Let's put it like under 35. If you keep it under 35, you win the game because you're running the ball. We couldn't do that this year. You waited to the last minute to sign that. You waited to 30 minutes before the damn game to sign C.
But they never got him any help either.
Got help.
Jake Ferguson's a decent tight end, but let's be honest, they didn't surround him with talent at the wide receiver position. They expected him to go out there and turn water into wine. He ain't Jesus.
Well, I'm gonna move this along. Because I know
we had some other playoff games.
So another playoff game. We had the Green Bay Packers and the Philadelphia Eagles. I am unimpressed by Philadelphia. They did not impress me at all.
What part of the game didn't impress you?
They controlled the game, but let's say, for instance, in this next round, their opponent stops the running game, right? So they're playing
the Rams.
Let's say the Rams stop their running game. Say what you want about Matthew Stafford. One thing he can do is throw the football.
You know that.
If it turns into a shootout,
they're gonna lose that.
The Eagles in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I think y'all forgetting where they playing at.
They're playing in Philadelphia.
If they turn it into a shootout, first of all, it's hard to play. It's hard to play in Philly, bro. In January, it's hard. People don't understand that matters. That matters.
Well, obviously we know it's difficult to play them. but I'm looking at a quarterback that threw for 131 yards
in the cold.
In the cold in a game that they easily controlled. So my concern is if they can't control the game, if they can't control the ground game, and it turns into the shootout. And let's not get it twisted. The Rams can run the ball too. I'm concerned.
I don't think you're underplaying Philadelphia's defense, who have played probably the best since they lost to Tampa. Since they got their defensive coordinator calling plays, they have been playing lights out. Like, I don't understand.
And then you still got an ace in the hole with Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Don't forget that man is. How many yards he ran for TP?
How many yards did who run for?
Saquon. 2 stacks.
I believe he still had. I believe he still had over 100.
He had 2.
No, he's talking about the season.
The first time.
Oh yeah.
No, yeah, he had 2,000. He only needed 109, 108 yards.
2,000 yards this year.
Yeah, 2 stacks.
2,000. Yeah, he had 2,000
yards. 2,100 yards.
Get what they gonna do?
Broke the record.
Run the ball left, run the ball right, run the ball straight up the middle. He probably gonna murder some people.
And it's cold.
It's cold too. They used to that, man. But it's the Rams. What Southern team goes up to another team and went up there? When was the last time that happened? Oh, Tampa Bay. My bad.
But that's an anomaly too, because hell, usually we don't go play good in the cold either.
Yeah, I remember them Brett Favre years. But again, it's gonna be a good game. The Bills and the Broncos. Do we even need to talk about that? Like that was just. We don't even need to talk about that.
Not really.
I feel like Bonus didn't really have no help, man.
No,
that game went downhill quick.
Fast.
Yeah, it got ugly quick. Like that first touchdown, it looked like, oh, it's gonna be a game, and it wasn't. It just wasn't.
Oh, far from it.
So in these divisional rounds, first game this weekend, Texans versus the Chiefs.
In Kansas City.
I just want the Texans to win. I'm riding with the Texans.
I think they got a good opportunity. They play like they played last week.
When we played the Chiefs the first time, we were winning that game until Tank Dell blew out his knee, right?
Yeah.
I knew we lost when they kept spamming the CJ and he was crying. I mean, he was boo-hooing. And I feel him because that's one of his good friends. That's his teammate. You don't want to see that happen to anybody. And that was a very gruesome leg injury that he suffered on that play. After that,
he might not even walk.
We looked very dejected. And then we had to come back 5 days later and play the Ravens. So that whole little stretch where everybody was saying, oh, the Texans is cooked, this and that, they ain't watched us all year. We've had to deal with injury after injury, receivers being hurt left and right. Stephon Diggs' knee gone for the season. Nico missed 4 games. And then Tank Dell out for the year. But you still expect the quarterback to go out there and perform, even though he also was injured. The Chiefs are not as good as everybody think they are. And
no, they're not. They are not a good team this year.
I say the same Chiefs from 4 years ago.
They don't have the amount of talent on the offensive side that they've had in years past. They're still a good team. They still have a multi-Super Bowl winning quarterback and coach. I get everything that they have. But I think that we match up well against them when we're healthy. And we are playing good ball right now, and we are somewhat healthy. because there's still some guys that we wish were out there that's not going to be out there.
With if you win the game, would that be considered an upset?
Yes.
It would, based on the Chiefs' record and where everybody has placed the Texans in the power ranking. They don't think that we can do it. They don't think that we have enough to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. And I think they're wrong, but that's me being a Texan fan. Everybody else, hey, they want the Texans to win, but they don't really think we can win. I believe that we have what it takes to beat them. If we go out there and we perform the way that we know how, we're able to block 95, if we're able to get the run game going, if we can get the ball to Nico, if we can keep Patrick Mahomes in third and longs and actually get him off the field, our pass rush looked unstoppable last week against the Chargers. It looked like they could not block us. They had no answer. If we're able to keep playing like that, we can beat the Chiefs. And if the refs don't come in there and wreck the game with penalties.
I don't say that too.
What you need to worry about.
So I'm gonna be the devil's advocate.
Here you go.
Told y'all.
I know who's coming. I ain't worried about him. I ain't scared of you much.
So the beginning of the season, we all heard me say, I want Patrick Mahomes to get the 3-peat because then I can go, that is the definitive GOAT. And we can kill Tom Brady forever. I said that at the beginning of the season. However, some things happened during the season. Like, for some reason, offensive coordinators and head coaches keep letting Patrick Mahomes have the football at the end of the game. I don't get paid millions of dollars to coach NFL football. I don't. But I know some things are just true. You don't give Joe Montana the ball at the end of the game. You don't give John Elway the ball at the end of the game. And you certainly don't give Patrick Mahomes the ball at the end of the game. And these motherfuckers keep doing it. What am I to do? Like, y'all want to tell me that this team ain't that good. Well, something's going on because these defensive coordinators keep saying that team ain't that good, and they getting drugged in 2-minute drives at the end of games. The number of one-score games, I think they had 7 one-score games this year.
I mean, they just got really lucky.
I mean, is it Mahomes or is it Andy Reid?
I don't. Either one. They're together. They're the odd couple. And that man get on that football field. At this point, I think he feels disrespected that they leave time on the clock. Oh, y'all gonna leave me some time? All right, I'm gonna show y'all. It's just disrespect at this point. And it ain't even me hating on the Texans. It's just like, as a fan of football, and I'm seeing this time after time after time. And these are the smartest people in football. Like, we might call them bums or whatever and dumb or whatever, but these are the smartest people in football. And they can't stop this man at the end of the game. What am I to do? Mind you, Vegas got this at 7 points. Take the points, y'all. This ain't no 7-point game. This is a 3-point game all day. Take the points.
We got to take our points when we have them. That is important. Field goals. You gotta capitalize on the freedoms, because if we get in field goal range, we can't take sacks that knock us out. Fairbairn, you can't miss easy field goals. We have to capitalize on every opportunity when they present themselves. That's important.
Well, you know who learned their lesson this year from last season? Dan Caps Campbell and the Detroit Lions. Don't leave no points out. Don't take what you can.
Absolutely.
That's the next game. And I really want the young kid to do well. Detroit can go score 30. Like, they can just blink their eye and score 30. I ain't even got a chance to talk about their defense.
The scariest part about that is if Detroit was healthy, this wouldn't even be a close game.
And if Aiden Hutchinson was out there right now balling, it would
This
be
would
a
not be a
bloodbath.
close game. Like they're missing they're missing linebackers, they're missing safeties, and it is next man up. If you ever want to see a team with the mentality of next man up, it is Detroit. Like literally, they look like a mass unit, but you can't tell what they play in production. That's impressive to me, and I just don't see how Washington can go into Detroit playing on their surface, and it's at 100 miles an hour. Like they're gonna have some plays because Scary Terry, he is the real deal. That dude.
Oh, I ain't talk about that man right there.
That dude is sick. Like he can. It's very few times that he can stay covered, especially if you give Jaden any time in the pocket, he's eventually going to be open. That's just what it is.
Well, I'm gonna say this. This is gonna be a mind. This is gonna be a game. I won't say for the ages, but it's gonna be an interesting game. This game is in Detroit. It's in the dome, but but the pimps and players are gonna win this game right here.
I agree.
I've been saying this that I wanted my Super Bowl that I wanted last year did not come into fruition because I wanted Detroit and Baltimore. I wanted BMF versus the Wire in the Super Bowl. Look, it wasn't gonna be nothing but pimps. It's gonna be pimps, players, and drug dealers out there at the Super Bowl in New Orleans this year. That's what I want.
Well, I think we can. I think we all are in agreement that I don't give the Bills a chance against Baltimore. I
don't give them a good one. I think they can win.
Derrick Henry might be on a mission, and I think Lamar Jackson is going to be perfectly fine with that man running 25 times during that game. And if he runs 25 times against the Buffalo Bills, first off, who tackling Derrick Henry 25 times? First, I need his birth certificate before we even start the game.
First of all, it's going to be freezing cold. Who want to tackle a 260-pound dude running 4-4 in the freezing cold?
Is it in Baltimore? Or is it Baltimore, right?
No, it's in Buffalo.
In Buffalo? Oh, man, I give that boy a ball 40 times. I don't care.
Oh, my gosh. That's one of them. Who won it with Debo?
That's what I'm saying.
And it's the time of possession. Like, I don't know what game it was, but the time of possession that Baltimore had that game, it was like 20 minutes to like 10 at one point. I forget what game that was.
It probably was against us when they played us in Dallas.
You cannot control. If they control the ball like that, you can't win. You cannot win.
But who want to? Yeah, like you said, who want to tackle Derrick Henry in the freezing cold, and then who want to chase Lamar Jackson's ass around in the freezing cold too? Because you still got to account for that man right there too.
Every time, not some of the time, every time.
I know. I be talking shit on the internet because I be talking shit about. So we in 2024, and y'all. Well, at the time it was 2024.
Oh,
and we don't know how to run basic option defense. And then I looked. This ain't basic option defense. You got your guards are going two different directions. Two different directions. The first rule I ever learned about football is you want to stop the run, follow the guard. Well, what you gonna do when the guards going different directions?
What game was you watching? You must have been watching Navy.
I'm just saying they did that. No, Baltimore did that like 3 times, and one of the plays ended up being a screen to somebody. Hey, no, Top Monkey, he got too much time on his hands to think up crazy shit. I'm sorry, I don't give Buffalo a chance.
Look at their personnel. Like offensively, they're probably one of the scariest teams on paper.
They don't have to throw the ball. They got a 300-pound fullback, damn near 300-pound tight end. They got another tight end that likely, and they got Derrick Henry. I don't need to throw the ball. For what? Because I just want to be cute.
That's usually what costs people games.
So yeah, it's gonna be a good game, but I got a feeling it's gonna get ugly real fast. It's gonna get ugly real fast. Before we get out of here, I meant to touch on it earlier, but I want to get to it now. The Coach Mike Vick contract has been made public. He is making $400,000 this season. He has a few $100,000 kickers or $10,000 kickers in his contract. One of those is a Celebration Bowl victory. The other one is a FCS Playoff National Championship.
That's the one that's 100,000.
That's the one that's 100,000. Okay, so I just wanted to get everybody's opinion on the contract itself, not necessarily on the coach staff, but on the contract.
Well, it's a 4-year deal. That every year is $400,000, so it's a $1.6 million contract right there. The thing is, does Virginia have the state tax? Because part of that contract is gonna get eaten up by that, and whatever else.
They do.
But they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only like 4 states in the country that don't have a state income tax.
And I live in one of them.
And I live in the other.
Yes, sir.
I know Arizona don't.
Is Florida, Tennessee, Washington State, Texas, and this one more. You just said Arizona. So there we go.
But
I know I get excited about this Norfolk State thing. All he got to do is get the stadium to 80% capacity on a regular basis. Bruh. And that's a win.
Bro,
I don't think
they're gonna have that stadium gonna be jumping off the.
I don't think he's gonna have that problem at all.
Right.
It's good for the MEAC because they're getting ready to renew that contract. We heard the SWAC had renewed the contract, but now we're hearing different things. I can't wait till we get to the bottom of that. But Michael Vick, you got Coach DJ at Delaware State. Regardless of what everybody else may think, this is a good thing for the MEAC.
That's who contract I actually want to see. Like, what is his contract going to look like? Yeah. I mean, I think I said it before, like, Michael Vick being a coach, it makes sense to me. It just makes sense to me. DJ being somebody's head coach.
We had that talk.
It's gonna be real cold in Delaware. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, but he already into it though.
It's like, come on, bro. Like, if I had a kid and they like, yo, dad, I'm getting recruited by Mike Vick and Mike Vick. No, you are not going to Delaware State with DJ. For what? What is he doing up there? Like, so
it don't matter because he already got a couple of kids from California that's on to commit. Then he took one of our best utility players in Kobe Boykin. Kobe Boykin got into the portal one day, and then the next day you seen this nigga done got committed to Delaware State. And so
but we all know, we all smart enough to know that it is one thing to get players there, but it's a whole nother thing to be able to get that team to play together and to mesh and actually put together a good football team. We've seen teams that have been amazing on paper and not produce. People don't win football games. So yeah, he got the talent there, but is he gonna be able to coach it up? Is he gonna be able? Is he going to put the right coaching staff around himself to help him coach those guys up and get them ready to play?
That's the other thing I want to look for. I want to look at. I want to see what his coaching staff is gonna look like right now. But I thought he's out there actually, building his staff up. Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm looking at Michael Vick's crew right now.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. He put together a solid crew.
Let's jump into the sweat. Tremaine Jackson down there at Prairie View got a solid staff too. So, but he also Tremaine Jackson won what two championships as a D2 coach.
Yep.
So it's not a question on does he know how to coach a football team. Absolutely, he knows how to coach a football team. But now we're talking about two guys who we knew were bona fide solid players, but everybody that played can't coach. Hell, look at MJ had coached the team and he was a horrible owner, but he's still an amazing basketball player.
Right.
Yep. We talking about Texas Southern. We also got to talk about Alabama A&M. Because after all the speculation of Mr. Ibis being their head coach, thank you, Jesus, he ain't their head coach. They went out and got a solid hire. Sam Shade was the NFL celebrity coach that they needed.
Some people said that they didn't want him up there. I'm like, bro, y'all smoking.
That's wild.
You smoking.
That is
super
wild.
crack. Not to look at the team down there in Fairfield and what he been doing down there. He took a 1-9 football team when he got there and built it up. They went to the playoffs last season. They won a playoff game last season. And he went up against Tremaine Jackson and Valdosta State.
Yep.
Man. This is what I said. I was talking to Mr. Ford on the show too. I was like, you know what's going to I told Mr. Ford, you know what's going to happen? And he's like, what? I said, they're going to fire Connor Maynard. And sure enough, they did. And I said, guess what they're going to do? They're going to get Sam Shade down there at Miles. He's like, then I was like, when PV let Bubba go, I said, Tremaine Jackson going to be the next head coach. Because he was supposed to be at Texas Southern last year, but the Board of Regents, the Texas Southern Board of Regents was cracked. I don't know, they was smoking K2 or something like that. But they did get a good coach in Dishman. So we should see what he do in year 2. So I like Tremaine Jackson gonna be the next head coach. Who else had a coach? A&T. I've already said it. Pencil in Sean Gibbs. I said he only need a couple of years at Fort Valley.
Even we said it, not bringing up nothing old about how we acted a whole fool on Beyonce's internet, but still, even we said it. We said it when she was trying to get him at FAM that he should be at A&T whenever that job opens. She admitted it. Even like later when it came out, like that dude was not supposed to be our head coach. He simply was not. So I think he's going to work out very well at A&T. Though I think they gonna get their teeth kicked in a little bit. Yeah, but will it be as bad as it was these past years? Nah. I mean, he already got Austin Hooker to come back from FAMU, so they got a QB already. I like that dude. I liked him when we had him. So they already got a solid QB.
Yeah, he got his staff too. So he got a couple of players. He got a couple of folks from Fort Valley, and then he brought in some other folks for himself. I'm like, why y'all didn't just go get this man when you knew you were gonna get rid of Sam Washington in the first place? Why y'all didn't just go down there and get him? Like, hey, we got an offer for you. Cause see, this is what happens. This is when egos get in the way. Why did Earl Hilton not go down there first thing smoking to South Georgia and say, Sean, do you want the job? And you know he's gonna say yes. Because he would have been a better candidate, he would have been a better coach to lead you into the CAA because you probably would have retained majority of your players. Bayshul Tootin would not even went to Virginia Tech. He would have stayed at A&T. Austin would not have went down to FAMU. He would have stayed at A&T. There's a lot of players that would have stayed at A&T if you brought Sean Gibbs in.
Yep.
He's a Broadway disciple. Sam Weinstein was on that Broadway staff. They was trying to keep the continuity. You brought in Vincent Brown, who is at best a defensive coordinator. He's not head coach material. He was way over his head, way in over his head when he got that A&T job. And you see what happened in 2 years. I'm like, they're going to fire that man in 2 years.
You know what? I just thought about something since we talking about the swag. I know who Mississippi Valley should go ahead and hire. T-Buck. Terrell Buckley. They should go ahead.
You're a Mississippi native.
They should go ahead and hire him.
I'm about to say they could have hired Ed Reed. Ed Reed would have aired out the whole administration again.
Bro, that man grand opening, grand closing. He wouldn't even got to office this time.
He would have aired out the whole administration.
He wouldn't have made it there because he would have been sitting in it just on the road forever in a day, and he would have went live, and that would have been the end of that. That would have been the end of that.
You got to ban that man from live. You got to take his live privileges.
Don't put a phone in front of his face.
We need your phone and all your social media passwords right now. Because sooner or later he'll be claiming he don't know how to use social media like some podcaster in the midst of his little sexual scandal. But anyway,
he paying folks 1.5.
Oh God. So I'm gonna go ahead and kick it off. I want to thank everybody for coming out to a Gathering Old Men podcast. This week is a kind of unusual week for me. My son, my 8-year-old, told me he wanted to come live with me, so I got to try to figure out the bottom of that and get ready to be single dad stuff. So it's been a wild week for me, but HBCU basketball is in conference play, and it's been fun, both to watch the game and the conversations around the game. And for me, being able to watch both FAMU men and women, Norfolk State women, Southern men, beat some pretty good teams. It's been fun to watch. Absolutely fun to watch. And not to be funny, the people with Coach Mo is 3-0 at home, 4-0 at home.
Yeah, we just lost women. We just lost tonight against Texas Southern. But let's talk about that.
They ain't gonna hold you, Coach Skeet down there at Texas Southern. Hey, she played for Alcorn, but she no ball.
Oh yeah,
she no ball. Like
she recruited her team to beat Coach Reed.
Yeah, she did. Because she couldn't get around her last year. So it's like, okay, bet. But Coach Skeet, like if you want like a young coach that knows ball, Coach Skeet. You might remember this. Remember when Malone girls popped up those 4-5 years and they went to state? She was their head coach.
Yeah.
And then you just talk about, you say us deep people, man. Just talk about us on the women's side where Coach Reed cleaned out everything, the whole house, the garage. And left nothing up in there, and we get Coach Richards coming from A&M, and she had to rebuild the whole roster. And I mean, up until tonight, we was on, the women was undefeated in the conference at 4-0. So we took a bump tonight. I mean, it's still good to watch the game. It's still good to watch the women, and it's good to watch the men. It's good to see what Mo is doing after the hectic schedule that we had going on the road for 13 games.
Yeah, in between our men's schedule and our men's schedule, that was insane. Like, that was pure insanity.
It makes sense.
It didn't make a bit of sense at all, Marlo. That was crazy.
But we got to do that. We don't have a choice because
bro. But we do have a choice. Like, to that magnitude, like look at the first 7 games that FAMU men played. Nobody played a schedule like that. That made zero sense. Like
0 sense.
That made no sense. And the only thing I can think of is like, hey, McCullum knew he wasn't coming back. He should not have been allowed to touch that schedule.
Man, we had three top 25 teams on our schedule. We had Kentucky. We had University of Houston. We had Iowa State. We was road warriors. Yeah, but just look at it. It's gonna be interesting because we all play Saturday. Since it's we play Saturday against Prairie View, and then on Monday the men play Texas Southern.
Listen, I'm looking at them standings. Please don't sleep on Texas Southern men. That coach make a living. Just don't worry about us. We cool over here, and then end up in the tournament final.
That's Johnny Jones. That's the Johnny Jones led team right there. They always ready for the tournament. Let's not be like, and this was in the athletic. I know we already talked about the registration. Let's not be like Mississippi Valley men's basketball team, where they were in the New York Times and said they was the worst team in all of the country.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank everybody for coming out from the. I know we ran over. I thank everybody for coming out for the Gathering of Old Men podcast. We do have. We are on every streaming platform, so Apple, YouTube, because YouTube now has audio podcasts. Wherever you find your podcast, you can find us. Like and subscribe. Always like and subscribe. Again, HBCU Overdrive on YouTube. Check out Doc Holliday over there. What nights are you on now?
Man, whenever I got an off time or shoot. Well, at least with my schedule, they switched me to daytime for a little bit. So I was lucky to be out today and tomorrow. Last week I could have been on, but shoot, I was trying not to get cabin fever because it was snowing and stuff out here. Which is about to happen again this weekend.
Wait, Jamal, is it gonna snow in Tallahassee? Did I see that?
Man, honestly, that's what they're saying. I'm about to call my brother-in-law. He in the military, and tell me what the military satellites look like.
Okay.
I don't think I think it mostly is gonna probably be sleet. I doubt that I see snow. That's why I left the state of Indiana, because I ain't like snow, and I'm not coming home to deal with no snow. So I think
you sound like me. That's why I do. Yeah, fuck that.
Some sleet. It's gonna be some ice and rainwater. It ain't gonna be no snow.
Well, for everybody out there watching, thank y'all. Good night.
So, professionally, get your dollars, dog. Get paid. I want you to get all your money.
Have y'all not been seeing Tom Brady when they don't make the playoffs? I mean, when he's not in the Super Bowl, he's commentating the week of, talking.
The
when it's in
numbers
the
go
off
crazy.
season, he got his hair. Look, I said a long time ago, Tom Brady ain't a football player. That's a model.
That's Mr. Giselle. I mean,
that's
come on,
Mr.
man.
Giselle. And like,
damn, this man is
he been
what more do he have to do to be a man?
I'm sorry. Let's not do
He
that.
is a boy,
Hold on. Let's not act like he was a little chubby around the waist until he met Giselle. Because when he was with that actress, he wasn't working out like that. He wasn't eating like that. He got with Giselle. He started eating right.
Oh man! So he wasn't winning Super Bowl.
I'm talking about he doing Pilates and shit and plyometrics. He doing all. Come on,
hey,
man.
look, I'm gonna say it like this: Tom Brady made a transformation at some point in his professional career. He went from "I'll have her home by 11" to "She called me daddy too."